Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'd like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children around the world in Paleo Hebrew language. Kal Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Ha Rokak Kodash Mahamah. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostle of GMS. Double honors to the apostle of Lion's Den Camp. Salutations to the Yaakins who are on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, we are getting closer for them to be implementing, right, the what they call this one, the Neuralink chip, not only to those who are disabled, but also to people that are not, right? So I'm gonna play a very short video because I saw two more that I want to show you. But get ready to say bye-bye to the smartphone, okay? The title of this lesson is called Let the Wicked Fall. Okay? Here we go. Will you get a brain chip, it says here. Wow.
Enabling people who have medical conditions to do things that an able-bodied human would...
Oh, Salaka, he's talking already about this going to be happening more and more in 2028, okay?
Definitely want.
If I was Elon Musk, I'd be trying to get a Neuralink.
Replace your hand entirely with prosthetic hand, and you would eventually feel totally like that is your own hand.
This is literally going to change what it means to be you, and you're going to have to decide if you want that or not. What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking all about Neuralink, one of Elon Musk's most under-the-radar companies, but probably should be the most important to you because it may fundamentally change what it means to be human in our lifetime. And this is something that's been hitting me more and more with AI taking off and realizing that communicating with AI on my phone is just not going to cut it. And so I've been scheming with Ryan Tanaka, who is our guest today. He's an expert on Neuralink. He runs the Neuropod channel, which is all about the Neuralink company. So I thought, who better to dive deep on Neuralink, scheme on how this is going to be the craziest sci-fi company ever, than with Ryan. So Ryan, welcome to Hyperchange. Stoked to have you on the show today.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
So I'll just get to the chase. I've been getting frustrated with AI, or not frustrated, but realizing how much potential I'm leaving on the table with typing into AI. Because now in the past year or so, I feel like Grok and ChatGPT have gotten so good, and the amount they can turbocharge what you're thinking in that feedback loop is insane if I were able to go beyond typing and communicating. So for the first time, I genuinely felt like I'm gonna have to get a Neuralink, otherwise I'm gonna be left behind. If I want to be a YouTuber who's on the top of tech news, if I want to be a CEO running a company, no matter what, I'm either gonna need to adopt Neuralink or I'm gonna be left behind. So I'm gonna be competing with people that do, and it's gonna be this fork in humanity essentially of people that have Neuralink and are embedded with AI and people that aren't. So I'm kind of curious if I could throw that to you. Has the rise of LLMs and ChatGPT and Grok and how good they are, has that integrated in your daily life, and how has that changed your perception of Neuralink since you've been following the company?
Salaka, you know how it is with YouTube. Give me a minute.
It can record videos anytime. And how has that changed your perception of Neuralink since you've been following the company?
Yeah, I definitely use LLMs all the time. I use it for video scripting. I use it for learning about new topics. I use it for research.
Listen careful.
And it's crazy that it is kind of slow to be typing our prompts into these models. And it's we take it for granted that the model is so powerful, but then the speed that we can transmit the information and thoughts from our brain to this super digital intelligence, or digital super intelligence, is really slow. So with the Neuralink, we would basically go, I kind of think of it as in 3 levels. There's level 1 interface, which is typing with our fingers on our keyboard or typing with our 2 little meat sticks on our phones. It's super slow. And then the next level is a voice interface. So like if we have to just if we can communicate naturally with language to our phones and reiterate on our prompts, then that speeds up our speed of communication quite a bit. But then the next level is direct brain interfaces, where you no longer have to compress down your thoughts that you have in your mind into natural language and then have them be uncompressed with the AI model.
Can we stop it there? Let me move to another video. Give me a minute. Where am I? I think I do it like this. Give me a minute. Oh, here we go. Nanoparticles as next generation
For all of us here today,
vaccines.
when I say we're all intimately familiar with lipid nanoparticles, right? No? No? Well, you should. You've likely already had these particles inside of your body in the form of the COVID-19 vaccine, which was the single largest and most successful health campaign in human history, showing the power of these new mRNA therapies to revolutionize the way we approach modern vaccine science. Now, the way these vaccines work is actually fairly simple. They take a very small fat bubble, around 1,000th the width of a human hair, and they load it with mRNA that contains instructions that tells the cell to make a single specific protein. For the COVID-19 vaccines, this encodes for the spike protein of the virus, which then informs the immune system to recognize the virus and prevent infection in the future. Now, despite the unprecedented success of these vaccines, they have one major flaw, and that is that they must be stored at ultra-cool temperatures on the scale of -20 to -80 degrees Celsius. For reference, this is less than -100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm from the Midwest, so I can tell you that's very cold. At these temperatures, they have shelf lives around 6 to 18 months. However, they must be kept at those temperatures from the time it is made in the factory to the time it is given to a patient. This is known as the vaccine cold chain.
Okay, let me stop it there because I just want you to hear about how they're promoting the nanoparticle and that they said they've been giving it to people already. Now I'll move on to one more before going to the lesson.
There are 3 kinds of methylene blue that
Slovakia?
you can take, and a lot of people
I don't
sell.
control
The first one
YouTube,
is
so
Indian curry methylene blue. Now take
here
a
we
look.
go. Merge your mind with AI.
Come with me to the year 2050. But don't worry, it's just a Tuesday, and you still have to go to work. Yeah, I'm sorry, AI hasn't taken your job yet, even though you may want it to at this point. See, you find yourself laying in your bed, and one of the things you notice is you can feel yourself transitioning from that sleeping state of, where am I, to that waking state of, what do I have to do today? But this time in 2050, unlike today where we pull out that blaring bright light called our cell phone and shine it in our eyes to wake us up, we merely just have a thought. And that thought is, what's the weather going to be today? Do I have a busy schedule? And just as soon as I ask that thought, I instantly know the answer. And you see, the reason why you instantly know the answer is because your thoughts are no longer just your own. You are connected to a machine. You are connected to AI. Now, if what I'm describing may scare you a little bit, I'm sorry to tell you that this was predicted more than 20 years ago. This is called the singularity. And it was predicted by Ray Kurzweil in his 2004 book titled The Singularity. And his more recent book, which is titled The Singularity is Near. I know, he's very clever. Hey, he spends all this time thinking about how we're going to merge with AI, so who has time to think about book titles? But most importantly, what the singularity is in a simple term is that not only is AI smarter than me and smarter than you, it's smarter than all humanity. And with that, we then must merge with AI.
Okay, I'll stop it right there. That's all I wanted you to hear. So you can see how they're promoting the technology for humans, especially the so-called Negros Latinos and speckled birds, to take it. Which, you know, a lot, not all of our people, but some of our people will take it, right? But the thing that when you watch the whole videos, all three of them, they don't talk about the side effects or really the AI. Right now they're using the AI, but really it's going to be the Edomites reprogramming your mind and controlling you, right? They don't talk about scripture, how they're turning you into cyborgs, so then you can go and fight Yahweh Shah when he comes back in those so-called UFOs and the host of angels, right? That's why they're really doing it. But anyway, let's go to scripture. Psalm 141 verse 9. Keep me from the sneers which they have let for me, and the grins of the workers of iniquities. Yeah, they smile, make it sound like it's all exciting and fun, right? It's gonna make you smarter, and as you can see, she just said that it's smarter than not only everybody but all humanity. So, in other words, she's making it, you know, she didn't say it, but a God, right? That's always programmed by the Edomites, and the Edomites who so-called America to a foreign other people, right? Small hats, to be more specific. Verse 10, let the wicked fall into their own net, while that I will escape, right? So you can see why they are having all this technology all over the place. They want to know everything that you do and talk about, because they know from scripture, the Edomites, that Yahweh Shah is going to come back with the host of angels, but more importantly, he don't want none of us to escape, right? He want to keep us still as slaves, right? And he's using AI to watch if anybody's going to transform into that Superman power as well, okay? Because it fears him. He's losing his empire. I'm going to Jeremiah chapter 5. Give me a minute. Chapter 5, verse 26. You know, so when these technology introduced to put inside the body, no, if you refuse, you won't be able to go to work. You won't be able to go to a store and get food, right? Or even living in an apartment or a house. That's like they made homeless into a crime. See how close we are getting to the mark? Beast system's already here. It's just going to keep on magnifying. Verse 26, for among my people I found wicked men. They lay wait as he that sets sneers. They set a trap. They catch men. Yeah, participating with the wicked, right? For the love of money, for the love of power, and for the love of this wicked kingdom, which is not our kingdom, it's our hell, right? So 2/3 of our people are going to pay for that, okay? I want to go to Psalm 119. Give me a minute. 119. Verse 110. Okay. Here we go. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I err not from thy precepts. You know, they want us to stop using scripture and reminding the people around the world who the Edomites are, right? So they call it hate speech, which, you know, they're already are clapping down on it now, right? After what happened to that young man. And at the same time, it's called also famine of the word. right? I want to jump to verse 6. Give me a minute. I got to turn this page here. Give me a minute. I got to go all the way up to verse 6. Here we go. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. Right? So, they don't want us to practice. It's sad that, we cannot even do the 613 laws, okay? It's impossible to do it in this body, okay? This weak, sinful body, right? Now, the little bit that we can do, they want to take that away from us also, right? They want us to stop worshiping the true gods and the true King of Kings, Lord of Lords, right? Verse 19, I am a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me. My soul, verse 20, my soul breaks for the longing that it has unto thy judgment at all times. We are here, trapped. We're nothing but worms, right? Sheep for the slaughter, because the Edomites, Yahweh Bashin Yashai has gave them, technology, right? And they're going to come out with it, things that we only seen in movies, right? Go gadget. I mean, we need Yahweh Shai, because they're going to unleash so much technology, right? To trap us, to catch us, to put pain on us, you see? Verse 23. Prince also did sit and speak against me, right? Presidents. But thy servant did meditate in thy statutes. Yeah. We hear them talking, we go back to scripture and say, look all the laws that they're breaking. And they talk so proud and high and mighty, right? Making laws unto themselves. They can change them whenever they want, right? And they want all of us, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds, to stop talking about their history of what they did to our people, right? They only want us to look at what they are doing for us now, which is to upgrade slavery, right? They want to patent us. They want to own us and own our DNA. Psalm chapter 7, give me a minute. Verse 15. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. Yeah, the truck that he's making, right? That's how come China and Russia, are watching. They're saying they're gonna fall by their own wickedness. Don't get me wrong, Russia and China are still gonna unleash those missiles, right? World War III is still gonna happen, but they're waiting for the downfall of the people that are in power in America, which already, as you can see, is moving real fast, right? It's going downhill. Verse 11, Yahweh judges the righteous. Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. That's every day. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 48. I'll start with verse 8. Yea, thou heardst not, yea, thou knewest not, yea, from the time that thy ears were not open, for I knew that thou wouldst deal very treacherously, Slakia, and was called a transgressor from the womb. Yeah. We didn't know. We've been deceived, right? And we transgress against the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua because they pass on to parents from parents, right? Verse 10, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. Woo! In other words, this is a training camp that what we're going through. He's perfecting us. Amazing, huh? And those who don't have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart of understanding, will not receive it. But he's actually making us better. Of course, I'm talking about those who are chosen, the 144,000 chosen elect, which is going to be all men, right? With new bodies and spiritual powers, Superman powers, which I pray and hope for that I be one of them. And 1/3 of men, women, and children. I'll jump to verse 10. I did that. Verse 22, Slakia. There is no peace, said Yahushua, unto the wicked. No, there will be no peace, right? Because of the wickedness that they keep. They're so wicked that they do it to their own people, right? All this wealth that they took from us around the world, and they don't share. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. There should not be no Edomite, middle class or poor. They all should be filthy rich, because this is their last kingdom, their last empire. After this, they're going into slavery for 1,000 years. Okay? Isaiah chapter 57. Give me a minute. So they stuck it to their own kind. Verse 20. Wicked. But the wicked are like the troubled sea, when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up poop and dirt. I couldn't pronounce it also that, but it makes it clear, right? That they're not at ease, even what they have now, right? They want to know how they can beat or control God. That's crazy, right? They don't respect the Creator. Verse 21, there is no peace. I read that, said Yahweh to the wicked. I want to go to Isaiah 65. That's what happened. 65. Give me a minute. I'm looking. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Who he's talking about? The people, so-called Negoslatin speckled birds that are doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? He's watching us, right? And protecting us with his angels. Then in time of trouble, when we call and cry or pray, he will hear. Verse. I want to go to Song. I almost went the wrong way. Salakia. Song chapter 50, verse 15. Check it out. And call upon me in the days of trouble. I will deliver thee. Thou shalt glorify me. Verse 16. But unto the wicked Yahweh said, what hast thou to do? Declare my stature, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth. Right? Don't they use our Bible? Right? They pick here and there a couple of scripture chapters and verses, right? And then they call out that other name, their God, okay? They don't say Yahweh Shai. They can't, right? They look up and say, are we going to get hit by lightning? But they use our Bible, right? When they're not supposed to be touching it. 17, seeing thou hates instruction and cast my words behind thee. 18, when thou saw a thief, then thou consented with him and has been partaker with adulterers. Yeah, they're doing that right now, right? I mean, I did a videotape 2 days ago where it's announced that America's, is owned by foreigners, right? Tiny hats now, okay? I'm gonna leave it with Psalm 145. Slack here. Give me a minute. Whoa. Verse 13. I'll start with. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endures throughout all generations. What kingdom is talking about? The kingdom is coming with Yahweh Shai, right? The heavenly kingdom from heaven back down to earth, removing this wicked kingdom from the face of the earth, right? Verse 19. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry and will save them. Woo! See how beautiful that is? So I'll leave with verse 20. Yahweh shall preserve all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. Huh? So, things are going to get worse out here. Okay? Already it's coming out that it's going to turn into martial law. Okay? I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.